Hi guys, hope you guys are doing good. We're back with another video. Alright, today guys, we're going to be talking more on how you can utilize the TDI to confirm your trades and also confirm your market structure. Now, a lot of people for many years now have not been using TDI this way, right? But remember, I'm here to share knowledge with you that can help you. To those people who already have an idea of btmm, right, or the market maker method. So the most important thing, right, that I'm always going to emphasize on is market structure, right? Market structure and your supply and demand is very important, right? Order flow is very important. Knowing where the traps are is very important, right? So we're looking at EuroCAD, and remember, I always want to start with the higher time frame and understand why price is moving a certain way, right? So looking at this daily time frame, already I can identify something, right? I can identify that this is a supply zone, or was a supply zone, which was tested, right? Price came back to this area and we moved, right? So I always want to understand structure, meaning this supply zone, or this supply zone rather, has held price, right? So if you want to understand structure, what is on the left is very important. Now, if you can look at this previous move, as we went to this supply zone, we had a rally base, all right, and then we had another rally, right? So this area is very important. As you can see, this is how the market was moving as it was moving in that uptrend, right? So as we are going up, this is a higher high and this is a higher low, right? That was the previous higher low. Now look at what happened. Let's take it to the weekly so we can just get a, all right, this is what we have in the weekly time frame. See right there. So our rally base rally, which cannot really be seen clearly in the weekly, but as you can see, it was very clear in the daily time frame, was engulfed. So let's go back, right? This is what we're talking about, right? So that area, which was the previous low, higher low, as we were going to this supply zone, has been broken, right? So the fact that supply was held here, right, this supply is responsible for breaking the structure, right? This supply is responsible for breaking the structure, because when price rejected that area, price kept pushing down, breaking the structure, right? So this tells you that the market is actually in a drop phase. So that's a lower low, right? We had a lower low, right? The market structure at this point was telling you that we've got a structure breaker and a change in structure, right? So as price was moving down, right, we've got a drop, base drop. This base area is very important, right? This base area is very important, and as you can see, this is where price came back to. So let's look at it. We had a drop, base drop, then price moved away, came back, rejected, broke structure, went and tested this supply, broke structure again, but breaking this very important structure, and then price went back to this drop, base drop, right, which is where those orders are, right? We had a good, very good structure going to that area, right? So just by analyzing the market this way, it was going to be easier for you to understand that we're actually expecting a peak formation here, right? So by looking at structure, if we go to the 1 hour, I believe it's more clear. This is what we had, right? Price stopped, or rather was rejected on that supply. Right now, let's work with the left. Rally, base, rally. So this was actually a nice demand area for us, right? And as you can see, there were very good reactions, but finally something happened. We had structure being broken, but this structure breaking also broke other structures. This structure was taken out. See that structure was taken out. So this is the dealer already giving you a sign, right, or a signal rather, that we are still in a drop phase, right? You find people buying here and they want to hold until the moon. All right, they want to hold until the moon, right? But if you're looking at structure, this only tells you that this is a lower low, right? This is a lower low, and as you can see, price went back to this hidden base. Now, this is a hidden base area. That's a hidden base area, right? And then price continued going down, right? So now we want to understand something and how it was going to be easier for you to use TDI to your advantage. Right, we are looking at it from our btmm perspective. We already know that price pushed, this is the H4, price pushed to that supply zone, gave us the first leg. But this first leg, what I loved about it is it had 3 pushes within. All right, you need to understand your larger structures. So what do we have? We've got peak formation, right, a nice peak formation right there. We have got the first level of drop into a consolidation, second level of drop, a pullback, nice pullback to the 50 EMA after a 1350 crossover, right? And then we're at the last level, this last level being at the Mayo, right, the 200 EMA. So this was actually a very interesting area, which was our mid structure. And as you can see, we had the second leg being formed with another second leg there the next week, right? But now we are going to look at TDI and see how we're actually going to get a better, idea of where price will turn and how the market structure is also on TDI. Right, so let's look at TDI. Right, on this first leg, when price got to your supply, right, when price got to your supply, right, price dropped to the 50 EMA, right? But if you can look in your TDI, remember structure is structure. We are looking at structure on TDI now, right? So let's just analyze it. Let me just enlarge it. So price moved, right? We had a rally, a base, right? We also had a rally, and this is where we then reached an extreme and started dropping, right? So I want to show you something. All right, so can you see that this day of drop did something, right? This day of drop, not day, sorry, this week, or these 3 levels from this midweek reversal, right, to that 50 EMA did something on your TDI, right? Can we all agree that this, remember, it's rally, base, rally, this base right here, can we all agree that that base was around this area, this base area, right? But can you see that this drop that we had to the 50 EMA broke this move, right? Broke this structure, right? So this area was taken out. We can actually say we've got structure being broken because this previous rally, base rally, was taken out by this move. But if you go on the chart, this area is right here. It has not been taken out yet, right? It has not been taken out yet. So of course, if you have a trade running, right, and you see the RSI below the market baseline, you'll be very much interested to see another interaction with that market baseline, right? And as you can see, that's exactly what we had, right? So using the TDI this way allows you to know where price might push to based on how the structure is being broken on TDI, right? I hope you guys are getting this, right? So from this area, what happened, you can see we had a nice M formation back to that area, also at an interesting key level, right? That's a nice key level, as you can see, a very clear key level, right? So that's what you're looking for. That happened where? That happened there. Imagine this happened right there where you actually had your second leg, right? But as you looked at it from clear structure, you already had a signal. The structure was broken, so you were expecting to sell, right? This is actually called a decision point type 1, right here. That's a decision point type 1, right? So already, just by looking at this clear market structure, you already knew what the structure was. But by using TDI, you are then able to see that actually price will push down here. Remember, this is the base area we were talking about. If you can check it out right here, there you go. That's the base area we're talking about that was actually broken with this move. On the chart, we've got this move to the 50 EMA, but on our TDI, we've got this RSI line taking out that structure, right? Just think of it as structure. Focus on the structure, right? So this area has already been taken out by this move, but on the chart, this area is still far from being taken out, right? But you already have an idea of where you can even consider taking profit. If you would be able to take a trade right there, right, as the midweek reversal, your risk to reward was going to be amazing there, right? Your risk to reward was going to be amazing down to this area. Why would you consider this area? Because on your TDI, it has already been taken out, right? It has already been taken out. Then as you can see, look at what happened. This move right here broke this structure, all right, as you can see. And this structure on our chart is right here. Do you see that, right? But this move, which happened right here, right, that move broke structure. So if I was going to look for opportunities to sell, in this case, what do I have? A 1350 crossover, a nice interaction with the 50 EMA, right, with a nice pattern. I was definitely going to consider taking my profit at such an area because it was already taken out on TDI. I hope that makes sense, guys. So if you're going to be looking at it from structure, this is what you're going to have, right? This area was already taken out. This area was already taken out. So what happens? We had a signal, right? A clear structure breaker right there, and then price then went back to a decision point. That's a hidden base, right? And as you can see, on structure, it was very clear, right? If you use a fib just for extra confluence, it was at a very good golden level, right? And then you had a trade. So you had the opportunity to be able to mark down this area, knowing that it's already broken on TDI, right? You had the opportunity to mark down this area and use it as your TP, because if you are going to catch your trade around this area, even though it meant you're going to risk this much for this, your risk to reward ratio was amazing. These are the type of trades that we're trying to look for, right? So using your TDI will allow you to see areas which are already being taken out, right, before it actually happens, right? But remember, we need to put everything together. It is not any magic tool or anything. We still need to make sure we're trading the right market context. Right, so let's look at GBP JPY here. Let me look at it from the 4-hour time frame, right? Already on the 4-hour time frame, this is what we have, right? Price was held. If you're looking at it from a structure view, this is actually a base area. We had a drop, base drop. So price has been testing this area, as you can see. So price got to that area. We had a shark fin, right? And can we agree that this low is actually this low on the chart, right? But as you can see, that was actually taken out. But we can use the H1 if we've identified this region. Of course, you need to identify if it is a very clean, fresh supply level, right? Clean, fresh supply level. So if we go to the H1, it becomes easier now, right? So what do we have? Price has reached the extreme, right? So price reaches the extreme on this day. Okay, fine. Can we all agree that this rally, base rally, so this low right here was taken out? Okay, can we agree that this low right here is actually this region on the chart, right? It's this region on the chart, guys, right? So as the dealer gave you the first leg on this day and dropped, right, it was a nice area. As you can see, it retested a key level. It's the same thing as structure. It retested a key level, but that's just one leg, right? Remember what I said. Once the RSI is below the market baseline, I am interested in the interaction, the first interaction with my market baseline, right? So this move that also went to the 200 to the 50 EMA broke structure. It was this move right here, as you can see, from this key level going down, breaking previous structure, as you can see. But on the chart, this level is still far, right? You had the opportunity to enter your short at the right time, right? Enter your short at the right time and use this as a target. The risk to reward on this is amazing. Remember, that's the most important thing. And also by being able to understand that this is actually a base area which was created, this is the area where you'd be looking to take your trades. Right now, even if you can zoom in, can we agree that this low, remember we had a rally, base rally, and then the interaction with the market baseline, that low, which is right there, is actually these lows right here. Can you see that? And can you see that this move going down from there, breaking that previous structure, was actually this move, right? But it had not taken out that structure yet. And as you can see, price moves back. This is where you're looking for your entries, and then you can snipe, get a good sniper, right? So as you can see, price actually reached that area which was taken out. This is after you've identified your peak formation, right? So this area was also taken out by this move on this day, right? It also took out this area, and as you can see, this is where price currently is. This is where price currently is right now, not taken out yet, right? But this is where price currently is. So I'll be looking for some trades. I'll see what will happen. I'll be seeing how price will interact with these EMAs around here, but already I know that this is a clean base area, right? That's a nice base area right there. If that is my low, right, I'll be looking for trades around that region, right? So I want to see price get there, and then we can continue going down, right? But whatever happens, I'm going to be following market structure, right? So I hope this is making sense. Here's another example on GU, right? If you look at your TDI, what do we have? We've got this base area, right? And we also have this base area, which was not taken out. Okay, that's cool, right? So when we were given the first leg, right, look at what happened. Price rejected the supply level, right? Then price, this drop right here, look at what it did on TDI. It took out this. Can we agree that this rally base, this base area right here, was this area on the chart? But this move had already given you a signal that, yo, that area is taken out, right? So the most important areas you must be interested in taking your trades is the base, right? The base, those tops and bottoms, right? So remember what I said. Once the RSI is below the market baseline, I am looking for the interaction with, it's either it's going to be at the market baseline, sometimes it's above, but what I use is key level. We had a key level right here. Look at that key level. Let me just delete this so you can see that this was a key level, nice key level. And then what happens, you can see prices back at that area, and then there we go, we had a very good trade. But here's something I want to show you. This low right here was actually this area right here, but you see that this move, which was this move, had already taken out and given you a signal. This is a structure breaker, right? This went back to that key level. But if you look at structure, it had a drop, base, drop. So this was actually a base area where price went back to, right? And then we continued going down, right? So right now, this is what we have. This area, which is already this area, right, which is that area on the chart, has already been taken out by this move. As you can see what TDI has done, right? It has already been taken out. That area has been taken out. So now we already know that we're expecting price to even make its reach down here. We're expecting price to even make its reach down there, as we also have the 800 EMA in sight. Whatever we're going to be waiting for now, we already have a 1350 crossover, and as you can see, these EMAs have also crossed over. So what we're looking for, just by looking at clear structure, is very simple, right? If that is going to be our high, right, we want to see if price, remember this is a base area, this is a hidden base area, we want to see what price will do around this region. It can even be at this region, but remember, we are going to wait for our confirmations right there, and then we continue going down. Why are we so confident about this? Because on TDI, it has already given you what you need to know when it comes to structure. But remember, risk management is the key, guys. Always make sure you manage your risk well. This is just a tip, guys, that you can use when you're looking at your larger time frame structures, or when you want to know if you can actually focus on that pair and look for sell opportunities at the right time, right? At the right time. So we'll see what's going to happen right here. We'll see what's going to happen, and we take it from there. But what we have in the H4 right now, as I said, we already have this area, right? Look at that. This area is actually this low. This is now the H4 time frame, and guess what? It has already been taken out. So if I'm going to be looking for shorts around this region, I already know that I'm looking to see price reach down here, and I actually have the 200 EMA inside. So this can be a very good trade that you can focus on, monitor, and we'll see if price will get down here. Remember, always manage your risk. This is not a signal, guys. This is not a signal. So please don't send me Telegram messages, be like, oh man, I lost money on that. No, I'm just educating you guys. You guys then need to go back test, right? You need to validate what I'm teaching you right here. Go back test and see if what I'm saying makes sense. Here's another example. Let's just look at this scenario. What do we have? We have got this base area. We've got this hidden base, guys, on your left, right? So this is our hidden base right here. Cool. So price got to that area, right? As you can see, price got to that area, but look at what happened. This low, right, was actually this low on the chart, but this move coming down broke structure, meaning this is a structure breakout. When we're talking about structure, that's a lower low, right? After breaking structure, that is when price then went back to the supply zone and rejected it. I mean, that's a nice information, and rejected it. And then what happened, right? Let's focus maybe on this area right here, right? This low was actually this low on the chart, right? So when this happened on this day, right, it was not taken out. It was actually taken out on the next day, right? But remember, structure is structure at the end of the day, because if you're going to look at if you're going to be looking at this, you have got your peak, right? You have got your 1350 crossover confirming the lock of this peak formation. On your chart, it's very clear to see the structure breaker, right? On your chart, it was clear to see that your structure has been broken, and then we had a nice movement back to our 50 EMA with a nice M formation, and you had good pips there. But remember, you need to be very selective, guys. Be very selective when it comes to this, right? Be very selective, right? You need to make sure you're catching the right peaks. But if you have caught the peak, as price moves, it will be easier for you to actually be able. Okay, here's another example. That's a clear peak, right? Let's look at our TDI. So what happened? Well, as price was moving up, we have got this low. Remember, this is just structure. This is what we have on the left: drop, base, drop. So this is our base area. That is exactly where price went to on our TDI. Fine, we have validated this to be a peak according to our analysis, right? So this low, that base area right was actually this area right here, right? So do you see that this small move that we had on this day, which didn't even do anything to that area, so that small move right there broke the structure, right? And as we had the second leg being initiated, this was price getting back to a base area, right? And this is where we had our midweek reversal and a nice, not really a long sustained, a short sustained run, right? Not really something that we can really consider as a clean level, but structure is structure at the end of the day. So when the week was ended, this is how TDI ended. As you can see, this area, right, which was right here, was already taken out. See, that area there is actually this region here, or we can call it this area right here, right? As you can see, price was not taken out yet when market closed, but on our TDI, that area was already taken out. And as you can see, we then continued, had a nice drop the next week, also breaking previous structure, as you can see. But remember, you can always take it to the 1 hour time frame, right, to be able to get a better entry. As you can see from this area where we had the second leg, right, price moved down, breaking these previous structures which were down here, right? So on this day, you already had an idea of where price might push to, right? This will help you take good entries, right, as you just stick to the structure. But remember, you need to be very selective, right, to what you are trading, right? And it will become very easy for you, because even when you take it down to the M15, you must be able to actually apply the same concepts, right? Apply the same structure concepts, because at the end of the day, structure will always remain structure. So I hope this has helped you guys. Here's something that we had, as you can see, just a very quick scenario. We had a peak formation. As you can see, this played out in Asian session. Fine. On our TDI, this was just price reacting to a base area. Alright, so can we all agree that this low right here was actually this region on the chart, as you can see? So as we had a push up, this move down here broke the structure. As you can see, it broke the structure and even broke this other structure. So we call that a pin engulf, right? But to keep it simple, this structure was broken, right? This structure, the first structure was broken, and the second structure in this case is this area, right? So already when price was giving you a pullback right here and interacting with that market baseline at an interesting key level, as you can see, price has been reacting to that price level right there. And as you can see, so by the time price was playing somewhere here, you already had an idea of these areas being taken out, right? So if you shorted there, why not look to take your profit there? If you are looking for your intraday trades, you can get your 50 pips and you're out, right? So what happened after that? We've got a pullback, right? So this low was already taken out, and I don't know about previous lows. If we can zoom out, maybe. Right, so yeah, here's something interesting. This area right here, right, remember, as price pushed down, but as you can see, this was according to structure, right? But it is always advisable for you to focus on your higher time frames. After identifying your peak formations, you can then be able to see how clear it would look in the H1 time frame. At this region, what happens there? Structure is broken right there. Price interacts with your 50, then price continues moving in that direction, right? But what matters is you always need to understand your structure from a clean chart, right? But you can then use your TDI for you to get an idea of the structure, because when the cycle is clear, you will know where price might push to, and this will help you manage your risk well, right? This will help you manage your risk well. That's why it then becomes easier for you to then look at a chart and see that I've got a peak formation, right? First level of drop into a consolidation, 1350 crossover, first pull back to the 50 EMA, check, right? Another week of drop, beautiful, a pull back, a reset right there, and midweek reversal, and there we go. So this is actually 1, 2, 3 weeks of drop. That's 3 weeks of drop, right? Very good pips there if you can focus on pairs like these, right? If you can focus on pairs like these that give you a very good structure. Look at this scenario. We can all see that this is a peak formation, right, with the W formation, right? So look at what we have on TDI. This area has been respected, right? Remember, if you're looking at TDI, this would be your previous structure. So this first leg broke structure. Which structure is it? This high right here was actually this area on the chart, guys, right? And this move, right, which went back to this area, broke the structure. So already this was the first signal that structure has been broken and you need to start looking for longs, right? And there you go, inducement 1, 2, 3 down there, giving us the second leg, respecting this base, and then we continue going up, right? These are the type of trades I want you to be looking for, right? So you definitely need to do a lot of homework on this, right? I hope you guys have learned something. Remember, money is the servant.